Hey everyone, this is Rihanna from A Frugal Life, and today's going to be our first video in my basics in personal finance. So this video is going to be on identity theft. I know we hear a lot about it on the internet, but people usually just blow right by the tips. So stick it out with me just a few minutes here, and let me tell you the different types of identity theft, how you can prevent it, and what you should do if it happens to you. So this is kind of personal to me. A couple of times I've actually had my credit card number stolen or my bank account information stolen and my account cleared out. So there are ways, of course, that the bank pays you back for this and things like that. But over the years, I've learned some tips and tricks from the FCC and other organizations on how to protect yourself from identity theft. So here are those tips right now. So first of all, what is identity theft? Identity theft is any time somebody steals your personal identifying information, your unique identifiers like your credit card number, your name and birth date, your social security number, anything like that, and uses it to commit fraud. Over 17 million identity thefts happen each year in the US, and I'm sure even more across the world. So it is very important that you protect yourself because nobody else is going to do that for you. So here are the different types of identity theft that might happen to you or your loved ones. Number one is medical. So medical identity theft is when somebody uses your information to get medical insurance, or your information like your medical insurance number or your medical card to actually get services from medical providers. And it happens more often than you think. One of the top identity theft items is credit card fraud. So people will get your credit card number and use it to purchase things on the internet or in person, or people will get your information and open their own credit card with your name and social security number. So this is one of the top ways, again, that people use your identity for fraud, and it's also one of the easiest things to protect yourself against. So another one of the types of identity theft is government identity theft. And this one is a little more rare these days because the government does have tons of security measures in place to protect you, but it is possible for somebody to use your social security number to get things like government benefits, welfare, Medi-Cal, other things like that, and then use them for themselves. So you definitely don't want to let them do this. It screws up your benefits in the future, and it also puts you on all sorts of types of lists that makes it hard for you to get credit in the future. So government identity theft is definitely something you want to watch out for. Next is tax refund identity theft. So some people will use your identifying information to get a job, like your social security number, and then will use that information later on for tax theft or identity theft or fraud with your social security number. So people could either file a tax refund in your name and get back all of those benefits to their card or to their bank account, or they could just use your social security number to actually file taxes that they've paid into because they've used your social security number to get a job. Either way, you don't want to do it. It's going to mess up your taxes in the future, and it's not fair for them to be using your identifying information. Next, there is utility theft, whether it be electric, gas, phone, water. People could actually use your name and identifying information to open utilities, then not pay them, and you will get stuck with that payment when they track you down the line. It's even worse if you guys live in the same city and you're trying to get PG&E or some other electrical utility and you can't get it because somebody has used your name to get utilities. So that is a super common thing to happen and something you want to protect yourself against. So let's talk about all the ways that people can possibly steal your information and use it for nefarious purposes. So one of the ways, which doesn't have anything to do with the internet, is they can steal your mail. So if you put your mail in some place that's not locked, outside in a dumpster or something like that, people will go through it and take things that look like bills and other information in order to steal your identifying information. And it only takes them a few pieces of information to put together the rest of the information using the internet and other resources. So protect your mail carefully. And then of course you do use your credit card at all sorts of places all day long, as well as your debit card. You hand that card over to people. They can easily make a copy of it when you're not looking. They can scratch the information down when you're not looking. Things get stolen in restaurants, bars, grocery stores, anything that you can use your credit card at, somebody is possibly able to steal that information. Number 4, if your internet accounts are not secure, people can go onto your computer and steal your information through your Wi-Fi. So if they can get into your Wi-Fi, it is quite possible they can get into your computer and steal the information from there. And then there is the credit card skimmer. This actually happened in my town a little while ago. A couple years ago, there was a skimmer attached to one of the gas station pumps. So if you see when you're looking at a pump, it is possible for them to attach something to the top of that credit card holder. When you put your credit card in, it skims the information off, you take it out. You can even still buy gas and things like that, and they can take your information right from there. And number 6, of course, the old-fashioned way of just looking over your shoulder when you're using that credit card, especially at a bank where you're holding it out for a long time in an ATM. If you're handing it to somebody, a cashier or something like that, people can actually go ahead and take a picture right over your shoulder super fast and take that information. So guard it carefully when you're handing out your credit card to somebody. Okay, so how do you know if you're a victim of credit card or identity theft, right? Somebody could be out there using your information right now, and you may not even know it for days, weeks, or years at a time until you look at your credit card statements or things like that, or something happens and you get stuck with a bill or a lawsuit or something like that. So here are some important ways that you can identify if you have been the victim of credit card or identity theft. So the number one thing, and something I look for all the time, as well as my husband looks for it all the time, unrecognized transactions or accounts, both on your bank accounts, your credit card statements, and your credit report. So whenever you look at those things, make sure that you are looking very carefully at every single transaction, and as soon as anything pops at you that you don't recognize, take care of it right away. So it's possible maybe you did do that and you don't recognize it. That's why it's important that we follow some of these other steps down below. But make sure you're looking for unrecognized transactions. If there's anything you even don't completely know what it is, that is an unrecognized transaction. Number 2, how about statements and other pieces of important mail that come to you and are unrecognized by you? Things that are in your name, credit reports in your name that you didn't order, bank statements or credit card statements that you don't recognize, offers for things that you didn't ask for. Anything that you don't recognize that comes in the mail could be a sign of identity theft. How about number 3, debt collector calls for accounts you don't recognize. This happens all the time. One, either somebody opened an account in your name and now it's past due and they've tracked you down for the money, or 2, people also try to scam you by saying that you have a credit card and you don't actually have a credit card with them. So they will ask the information, and this is one of the ways they steal your information. So this is super important to be very careful who you talk to on the phone. I actually get calls all the time, maybe daily or weekly, from somebody saying that I have a Bank of America account that is past due and I need to give them my information, when I have never had a Bank of America credit card. So it is very important that you watch for unrecognized things like that, and don't believe somebody just because they've called you on the phone and they sound professional. Number 4 is data breach notifications. This can happen via email, this can happen via text or phone, and the important thing to recognize, either it could be real or maybe it's another way to scam you, so you have to be very careful. If your bank calls you and tells you you have a data breach notification, tell them you will call them back. Hang up. Don't call from the same number or to the same number. Call back the actual main number for that bank and make sure that it is sound and reasonable, or log into your bank account statement and see if it's actually there, that breach notification is actually there, because sometimes they will call you, tell you there's a breach, and ask for your information. But it's also very important not to ignore those, because some data breach notifications are real and you want to make sure you take care of those. Next, we have unexpected large charges to your credit or debit card. This goes with unrecognized transactions, but it could be an account or something that you do recognize, because lots of people have accounts at Amazon. There could be an Amazon charge. Well, you recognize Amazon, right? But maybe you don't recognize $135 yesterday at Amazon. So make sure that you recognize the amounts as well as the places that are charged on your card. Anytime there's a large transaction, you would remember it, so make sure it's actually your transaction. And then last, of course, that's the medical theft. Again, look for correspondence from insurance companies you don't recognize. If you have Kaiser and you're getting Blue Cross bills, bills for things that you don't recognize happen to you. Of course, you know if you broke a leg or not. A lot of times people will use your medical information but won't change your address, and the information will come to you. Then you know that there has been a breach of your information. Call the medical insurance company right away to let them know. And finally, here are 5 ways you can actually protect yourself. Now you know what it is, how it might happen. This is how you can protect yourself. Number 1, my husband actually taught me to do this. I actually monitored my credit card and bank statements and things like once a week or once a month. My husband taught me to do it once a day. It has made a huge difference. It only takes a few minutes a day. Check your bank statement online every single day. Check your credit card statements online every single day. Check your Credit Karma online every single day. You don't have to wait once a year to do your credit check. You can do it free through Credit Karma. Check it once a day. It'll take 10 minutes out of your life, and you can catch things like that so you don't end up with an empty bank account that's been sitting there for weeks, occurring overdraft charges. So just check and monitor once a day to make sure everything's okay. Number 2, of course, the same thing, monitor your financial statements, but this is the ones that come in the mail. So the ones that come in the mail may be different than the ones that are online, and or it may be a source of recognizing unrecognized accounts. So every single statement, make sure you open up and go through it line by line. Number 3, this is a hard one. I know I feel that passwords are the bane of my existence. I can never remember mine, but mostly because I do change them often like I'm supposed to. So make sure that you change all of your online passwords regularly. Do not keep one password for all of your different things. You should not have one password that's same for your bank as well as your library. If somebody breaches the library accounts, then they can now access your bank account. So you should have a different password for every single thing. Make sure you track them somewhere secure and safe if you can't remember them, and make sure you change them at least on a monthly basis. Number 4 is to shred all of your documents, and any documents that you have to keep, such as your passport, your deed to your house, and things like that, should be in a locked safe, a very safe locked location, hidden in your house somewhere. They should never be anywhere that anybody can find them and access easily. And number 5 is important, and you wouldn't think it's that important for your financial safety, of course for your physical safety, but be sure you are aware of your surroundings. If you're at a gas station pump putting a credit card in, if you're paying at a cashier, even if it's in a big grocery store or a small flea market, if you are at the ATM, of course, be sure to make sure that there's nobody behind you, anywhere near you. Do not be embarrassed to ask somebody to back up. It's not embarrassing to protect yourself, and make sure that you're watching those mirrors in the ATM. Those are not just for the bank's safety, they are for your safety too. So be aware of your surroundings, never let anybody look over your shoulder, make sure nobody has a phone out that they're gonna take a picture, and you can protect yourself from identity thieves. So that's it. Thanks for joining me. Hopefully this was a short video for you today. Please like this video if you like and want more things in my personal finance series. I have a bunch more things coming up, but I'd love to hear what you would like to know in the personal finance basics series. And of course, please hit that subscribe and notification bell so that you can see my next video. As always, I love you all very, very much. If nobody has told you how special you are today, you are special to me. And I will see you again in my next video.